I'll bet you didn't know that the single most important organization involved in the illegal smuggling of Nazis was the Catholic Church. The Vatican and its prominent organizations directly intervened on behalf of thousands of Nazis, Nazi collaborators, war criminals, and fascists to escape Europe through so-called rat lines developed after the war. It's a little-known fact of history, but one with a damning record. In probably the most dramatic example, in 1946, Pope Pius VII himself intervened on behalf of the Ukrainian 14th Waffen-SS Division, an outfit of 11,000 men. Granted, it's likely that many of these men had no control over becoming SS soldiers, and were caught in a compromising position as a result of war. Others in the unit, however, were members of police and militia battalions that committed massive atrocities, including pogroms against Jews in Ukraine, and numerous massacres of Poles in the country. The record of the Holocaust in Ukraine is well known, as it was a massive graveyard numbering in the many hundreds of thousands.
The SS prepare a ravine known as Babi Yar, near Kiev. 33,771 Jews will be executed in 2 days.
A small number of the SS unit were prison guards at the Treblinka, Belsen, and Sobibor death camps. The SS unit was interned at an Allied prison camp north of Rome in 1945. The men were almost certainly destined for the firing squad in gulags after repatriation to the Soviet Union, something the Soviets were very eager to do. But the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church had different plans, lobbying the Pope through Archbishop Ivan Buchko, who described the SS officers as good Catholics and fervent anti-communists. Pope Pius delivered, and the Ukrainian officers were reclassified from POWs to confinees, which placed them out of the reach of Soviet repatriation. The church would work with the British government to grant them free settler immigration status, giving them a choice between resettling in Canada or the United States. Many of them would become agents for political warfare projects underwritten by the CIA, who made great use of Nazi war criminals for espionage after the war. The uncomfortable truth, especially in Nazi-occupied Eastern Europe and Vichy France, was that these governments were ruled by Catholic political parties. Despite the ideological war waged on Catholicism by the Nazis, the Church found themselves aligned with fascism and Nazism. Slovakia, Croatia, and Hungary were particularly ugly examples. It's known now that for decades preceding the Holocaust, the Church openly aligned with European fascism against the threat of so-called atheistic communism, of which Jews were considered a primary suspect. Anti-Semitism among the Catholic Church has been ubiquitous in Europe for centuries, as the Catholic intelligentsia provided the justifications for the persecution of Jews, as well as carrying out policies in Catholic countries that culminated in the preparatory steps for the Holocaust. These included wearing of the Star of David, liquidating of Jewish businesses, and the exclusion of Jews from public office in universities. It's also widely known that the Catholic Church is a principal collector of records, with churches carrying ancestral data going back hundreds of years. Of great value to the officers and administrators of Nazi Germany to catalog local populations into registries by ethnic group, information that was handed over happily.